I'm going to start off with a really bold take here and just lay this out for you, bro. I believe one of the most fundamental aspects of our human experience, of existence itself, in the way that it will be experienced by any human being that will have ever been born. So I'm just trying to include everyone. Everyone that's already been born, being born now, will be born in the future for the rest of time, for as long as human beings are around. That's what I mean by fundamental aspect. A universal experience that connects any human being. And what that is suffering. Suffering itself. Suffering is something we all do way too often. We all do a little bit too much of it. That's for sure. It'd be nice to dial that down. Could there be less suffering in my daily experiences? The breakthrough that I want to give you tonight is helping you understand exactly what all your personal suffering is really doing for you and just making you feel super depressed and not wanting to get out of bed and not wanting to deal with any of your problems, not, wanting to leave your house or just anything like that. It's actually really important. It's actually quite fascinating. And I say that because suffering is constant. You can't get away from it. It is inescapable. Suffering is guaranteed in the same way that time will pass is guaranteed, that you and I will die is guaranteed. You and I will grow old is guaranteed. Some of these laws of life, as I see them, suffering is one of the most difficult ones to accept. This truth that I'm presenting now, it is always there. I really do believe this. And we don't have to agree. But brother, you're going to have to tell me, you're going to have to give me, I would say quite a compelling argument as to why you don't. Because I see that no matter what choice a human being makes in life, any choice. See, this is already where it starts to get pretty crazy for me. Anything you pick, anything you do, any decision, bro, you will suffer. It doesn't matter. I just think that's so crazy. You know, we're rational beings. Um, you know, you and I try to compute, try to get super logical about it. Or if you're anything like me, it's not that logical. You are actually very emotionally based. Wow, a lot of this is feels, driven. The vibes, bro, the vibes. Regardless of however you are concluding your decisions in life, most of us throughout most of our lives, we're just trying to make the choices that we deem the most superior choice in the moment. This has to be the best possible thing I could do right now. That may not be true as badly as you want it to be. It just might not. Objectively speaking, and for me to clear that up just a little bit, for the sake of an objective that you really do want, a life that you truly do want to live, just keep it right there. The man that you're trying to become, the life that you're trying to lead, the success that you're trying to have, all the things that you're trying to do in life, those kinds of objectives. Now, hey, bro, it's not that I don't believe you when you say that you really do want these things. But here's the thing. In the moment, and for example, right now, while you're vibing with me, right now, you probably have at least a few choices right in front of you right now. I mean, I am very grateful and appreciative. That choice is I'll see what Jason has to say for a little bit longer tonight. Okay, great, great. But if you weren't doing that, or you can just pause and come back, you can absolutely do that too. You pause this YouTube video or this Spotify podcast if you're on Spotify. I'm on Spotify too. If you'd like to listen to me on the go, okay, all right, hold on. All right, before the plugins, brother, you will be immediately flooded, most likely, by a certain set of options. So I'm going to pause this video that's playing right now, and I have, the choices being I can do this, I can look this up, I can watch this, I can, stand up, I can go outside and do something. I can turn off my PC, I could read something, I could write something. It just keeps going. I'm really just trying to quick fire, a few options, whatever's coming off the top of my head right now. But if you were to give that just a few minutes, those choices are going to begin to multiply. It's actually a lot. I think that if you give that like, bro, I'm being so for real right now. You give that 5-10 minutes, and you may very well, if you just try as hard as you can to come up with as many realistic possible options right now. Nothing crazy. Nothing exaggerating. No, this really is something I can do. Just as long as long as it is an individual action. Like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and hold my breath. Do you know what I mean, bro? You could easily get into the hundreds. Now, the reason why I'm saying all of this is because I believe that no matter which choice you pick in the moment, you're still going to suffer. That's why I find it so funny as human beings. We fall prey to this illusion that if we think hard enough, that if we try hard enough in this moment, no, there has to be an option that I can find that will alleviate suffering, that will allow me to cheat this law of life. I can outplay what I'm saying is a fundamental aspect of existence. I won't suffer. I personally, I don't know if this is biblical. So I got to be careful now because I don't, Christians may not agree. Father may not agree. But I have to say what's on my heart, bro. So now I want to be clear. This is a very personal interpretation of mine. I believe that God creates everything. God is the author of all of it. So nothing is outside of dad. Nothing exists outside of God. Now, if you're still with me, bro, okay, great. But then this should also mean that suffering itself, the the process of you and I going through some sort of pain, some kind of negative experience that hurts you and me. However the pain is transpiring, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Well, that's a big one if you're going to talk about God. So really, however it's happening, all you know, all you know is that it's giving you an overwhelming feeling of please stop. I just want this to end. I just want this to be over because this is very unpleasant. This is uncomfortable. This is painful. If you run with my bare bones definition right there of suffering itself, then yes, dude, it's easy. Oh my God, it's nearly effortless to suffer, brother. if I sit here, just straight up, if I just sit here for too long, if I just don't get up and, you know, do other things than just stay seated, I will suffer. I just sat down, so I'm not going to suffer yet. Like right now, my body's like, yeah, no, this is, oh, actually, this is quite nice. The material of this chair is quite comfortable. But then after a while, give it enough time, and this chair will become hell. The the pain of your body, your legs, just not having the ability to stand up for a long enough period of time. I'm just really trying to think about it right now. I'd probably feel it in my knees. You know, I'd probably your spine, my I'll say my spine will probably start killing me after a while, and then. I mean, but that's the beginning of the suffering. Give it a couple more days after that. Good Lord, brother, I'm gonna be in so much freaking pain. This I love this chair, but you know how crazy that is? If I just sat here indefinitely, this would turn into some sort of torture device. I believe that this is possible because God has a very he has a very purposeful intention behind suffering, because knowing Dad and how loving, compassionate, just incredibly welcoming he is to all of us as his children, it really does beg the question, why would Dad do that to us? Why would he allow us? Why would he make us suffer in this way? On the opposing end of that spectrum, and that's just the way that I like to think about it. I say the opposing end of the spectrum because the way that Satan operates to me is to do the opposite of Father. It's all it is. Like, the devil is really, really emo. Okay? Like that very rebellious son of fathers. To be honest, I don't know. I don't know if Dad even looks at him like that anymore. But if you really, like, you look at sin, and you look at spiritual warfare, and you look at how the devil attacks human beings, just the way that he operates, it's all opposites. You know, uh, to me, the devil's kind of like, what is the Father all about? Okay, y'all rolling with me down here, because he's got his little posse. Y'all rolling with me down here? Cool. We going the other way. Okay. He's that's all about life, giving life, being life, death, death, desolation, barren, destruction. Okay, we could go way deeper into that, but I think that's enough for now. That's enough for now, because I still want to give you my main point, which is why your suffering is actually freaking fire. Not like that, but I want you to see why it is. I want you to see the value in it. You won't be able to for as long as you believe in the illusion that there is a way for you to not suffer. I think about this, and it makes so much sense to me that Satan would love for human beings to conclude there is a way. There is a way for you and me to, if we just try hard enough, we give it enough time, we can figure out something that surely there's something that you and I can do to completely avoid suffering. Okay. All right. I want to try and bring it down from my philosophical loftiness to very practical lifestyles. And this is a very human thing, okay? Much, much more so than it is a male self improvement thing. But I'm talking to all my fellow kings. So, bro, you gotta look at this. This is crazy, dude. Okay, this is where it gets worse. Okay, it's gonna get, yeah, brother. If you're still with me, it is gonna get worse before it gets better. You know, you and I, we were born to crave the wifey. Well, not some sort of divine goddess wife, like your wife, whoever she is. I do believe that. Maybe you already have one, then you know all about it, brother. I'm not as experienced as you in this way, though she's good, you know what I'm saying. If you, like me, if you single, she has to be out there somewhere. Okay, baby girl, she's got, okay, where the frick, she's got to be around here somewhere. Okay, you and it's a primordial, innate desire to have her. Okay, consensually, romantically. Okay, tenderly. Ugh, Lord, I forget sometimes. This is a public platform, so you know, right? That's the wifey. This is a woman I love very much. Okay, and you can't have her, or she's at or the void of the wife. Her absence is what so many of us are experiencing today, modern male human beings. And so, what does that do to you and me? Yes, bro, you guessed it. That it's going to make you and me suffer. So, what usually happens? I think you already know. I struggle with this for decades of my life, and I'm really proud to say I'm way better. But it's not because of me though. I'm way better because of God. I'm far from all the way there yet, though. Far from all the way there yet. It's corn. So I'm just using one. We'll do a few more. I'll try and do a few more. But I'm just using. I gotta, you know me, brother. Okay, if you know the Pillars of Men podcast, you know me. I gotta try and come up with something super dramatic right here. This must be the anguish of the absence of the queen. That's a little long. We'll roll with it. The anguish of the absence of the queen, your queen. And you believe, I don't want to feel like this. Well, I think it's very justified for all of us to feel like that. And that can, maybe there's a little bit of pride right there. Brother, as you are hearing these words, as you are following along tonight, I want you to look for the devil in what I'm saying. I'm being completely serious. Because so I don't believe I should feel like this. Okay. That can very quickly turn into I refuse. I will not allow myself to feel like this. This isn't fair. It isn't just. I don't deserve this. I am the exception. I should be exempt from this. So, when a man gets to that point, he's already really close. He's on the very cusp of beginning the action to do exactly that, to solve this great dilemma of I believe it's a false liberation of oneself. You believe that's what you're doing, but it's not, because as I tried to establish from the beginning of tonight's deep dive, it's not possible. I'm running with that original point. And the original point is an impossibility. So, trying to do the impossible is still impossible. I mean, but that would not stop a man from trying. Could be a little bit of pride right there. I'm just saying, bro. And that's why you'll get this. You get these addictions. They sprout. You know, uh, it's just, it's fair. I deserve this. I'm hurting so badly from not being able to be with a loving and loyal wife, as I would very much love one. So that's why, I'll use corn on the daily, right? However many times a day. Okay, say once a day, every single day, 365 a year. That's my battle plan. That this is my strategy for, remember the initial objective, brother, outplaying the suffering of, right, the anguish of the absence of the queen gives me. It is at this moment. Now I must ask you. You may already see it. You may be, ahead of the curve. Even though that's the conscious choice that you're making every single day, did you succeed? Are you truly exempt from that specific kind of suffering that men from all ages across time will always be able to understand what it is like not to have her? I truly believe it's not possible. Because logically, as I mentioned, we can be such logical and rational beings. You're thinking, but that's my solution. I don't have anything else. What else am I supposed to do? This is actually so difficult. It ravages you as a man. You wake up and you feel it. You go out into this world to be a man, to live your life, and to go to work and to do what you're supposed to every single day. And you feel it, and you're carrying it though. Even when you don't want to be, even when you'd rather not be thinking about it. I bet you will most likely go to wherever in life. Okay? Doing anything. And you'll probably be reminded of it somehow, some way. Now this goes beyond romantic anguish, but pain in general. You try, and you find a way to alleviate. And this is very frustrating. When I reach this point, I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. So damned if you do, and damned if you don't. Is that what we're kind of getting at right now? If you're gonna, if I'm right, you suffer no matter what. What the heck is going on here? You really do. If anything, maybe worse. That's debatable. That's that in and of itself is an argument. But wow, the addiction, the depravity, what it does to you, how it twists you. Like one of the finest, hands down, one of the finest descriptions I ever heard from a brother in Christ describing the nature of depravity is that it's endless. It is a black hole. It is abyssal. It never stops. Which is kind of crazy to think about. Oh, surely it'll stop eventually. Okay, the kings cannot get kinkier than this. They're like, sure, maybe certain fetishes have not been uncovered. But once you realize them, what else is there besides that? I don't want to know. I don't think I don't think that's something human beings should find out because of what it does to you. It's if he's right, I believe he is. The depths of depravity are infinite. It doesn't stop. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I mean, hey, I'm on the tube. I'm on YouTube right now. Okay, or Spotify, but I believe their community guidelines are similar. I can imagine. So I can't do crazy right now, bro. I will let you fill in those blanks. Okay, from one man to another, I believe either of us easily can. It keeps going, it keeps twisting, it keeps going. You go deeper and deeper and deeper until you lose yourself, until you, brother, until you don't know what the frick you're watching. You like it's like if you when it gets that bad, if you were to ever take a step back, if you were, just try to just freeze it. Just let me just hold on a second. Let me just freeze it. Okay. What is actually happening in this scene? You find yourself in the middle of hell. Pretty much. So I'm gonna not now. If you're still with me, okay, I want to back up a little bit though. How does this happen? See, this is what I'm talking about, bro. This is pretty hardcore stuff. How did we get here? How does one find himself in the depths of hell? Okay, whether it be sexual immorality or some other perversion, twisting of nature, whatever uh, aspect of negativity or suffering, because it was never up to you and me to choose whether or not we suffer. You see, bro? Do you see why? I really, to me, this is straight up impossible. When a guy is saying he's being defiant in this way, no, not doing it. I don't care. There has to be. It's got to be something I can do. It has to be. And I believe that is the game of the devil, right there. I believe that's I believe that is I really really do. It's spiritual warfare, and it's a demonic strategy to tear apart human males. He just needs you and I to believe. It's when it actually truly is impossible. He wants us to believe that lie. No, it is. Try. You'll find a way. You resourceful son of the light, you'll find a way. And we spend the rest of our lives suffering. But believing that whatever kind of coping mechanism, whatever kind of choice of escapism, okay, escapist route, that you would take would work. When I believe the truth is, and this once again tonight is straight, is really just one long Jason's take. This is all really personal for me. To be honest, most of it just stems from why, Father. Straight up, that's where a lot of this is coming from. And so, I really just thought to change it up tonight, take a break on movies, and really just vibe with you, bro. So when we're talking about suffering, though, and now I can finally bring Father back into this, because Now that we've gone over exactly how the devil operates, Father is the answer. God is actually why this is beautiful. Because when you are able to accept that you are going to suffer no matter what, and that it's beyond you, it's not a possibility, and it's not our choice as sons of God. It isn't. The choice is in something completely different. It's in something else entirely. Where our choice lies is how you suffer, not if you will or if you suffer or if you don't suffer. It's just in how. You feel me on that, bro? How are you going to go about your suffering? As a God-fearing man, I would have you go about it under the guidance of the Lord. That's how I would have you go about this. But there's a much better way for me to iterate exactly why. And this one right here, when I first heard it, it bored the crap out of me. When I first heard it, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Get me. I want to hear about Archangel Michael. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear about David and Goliath. Yo, I want to hear about our boy Samson. So when I first heard this story, it was you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. And I immediately flipped the page. I was like, all right, moving on. But as I got older, and years have gone by now since I first heard of that story, funny enough, the older I get, and with each new day that God brings me, I'm beginning to see more and more of the tremendous value and also the dazzling beauty of just the meaning behind this story. Or as coach, my coach, he always likes to remind me, they're not stories. Okay? They're not stories. They're they're real life, they're historical events. They actually happen. And I don't say anything in those moments. You know what I mean? It's like, God dang it. What can I say? I'm always kind of just like, all right, yeah. I hear you, coach. Okay, I hear you, coach. This is the book of Job. Oh, you know it, bro. You know, if you come on, dude, if we're gonna talk about biblical, you know what I'm saying? Christian suffering. Oh my goodness gracious. This man is the poster boy. This is this is the champion, okay? The Time magazine cover. It's gotta be Job's face, I'm sure, if you're gonna be talking about, okay, suffering purposefully. Okay. Aligned with the divinity of the Lord God. Because it actually gets so real when you take Job out of it and you put yourself in there, brother. Try it. Seriously. Try. It is freaking crazy. It rocked me because I was just immediately, it was very reflective. It was brutally reflective, I have to say. Because it was as if this mirror was being raised up in front of me to show me the error of my ways, the immaturity within the audacity I would have to be going through this intricately, incredibly complex and detailed construction of the human experience that Father created. Individually, though, okay, I'm going through the unique frame that Dad gave me that I call my reality. And I would dare say, I will not suffer through this. No. Like, suck it. No. I'm not going. No. Job had everything. Like, that is freaking tough, man. He starts with it all. He starts at the top. The his story, I mean. Where I mean, you know, and I do my best. We keep it real here at the Pillars of Men. Most of us, especially nowadays, brother, we trying to get up to where Joe started. Right? A lot of men nowadays starting from scratch. Ain't nobody but him in a dream. Which is why I highly recommend you don't do it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that you're not him. Oh, you may very well be able to pull it off, but the odds are quite stacked against you, brother, against any man that is going to try to really, pull it off solo dolo, just like straight up lone wolf, that bad boy. No, man, I really recommend you do this with that. You do this with that. I'm not. You okay? You might look at me like, but you freaking hypocrite. Yes, actually, at times, not for this one. Not for the lone wolf analogy. No, I did all of this with that. I'm actually only here. This is not about me, though. Okay, if you're really interested, you can have to comment down below, and I'll try and come up with a dramatic retelling of that yet again. I feel like I've done this a few times already. Oh my god! But that is for sure a different episode. But tonight, no, dude, this is all about you. It's all about any man trying to understand why in the world is he suffering all the time. Just remember, as we go deep now, okay? I really want to bring it home here with Job. You got to remember, brother, it's not possible to get away from suffering, to separate yourself from it. To be alive, to live, and 100% to be a man is to suffer. It's just how. So Job has it all. Like the wifey, the his queen, the kingdom, the kids, right? All financial freedom, whatever that looked like back in the day. He definitely had it. Everything was just like the the bee's knees. This is an amazing life for a man. I'm sure. Like, at that point, I would do that. I'd be like Job. I just wake up like, yo, this is really dope. I have everything I could possibly want. Okay, life really couldn't get any better than this. Oh, God is great. Oh, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. God is great. Look at my life. Oh man, like, how you doing? Like, how's your day? Cause mine, oh, it's freaking stellar. That's how the story begins. And isn't this his shtick? It's like, I feel like this is the only memo that Satan runs with. No, for real. I mean, goodness gracious. Incredibly dedicated to his ways of evil, but simple in this way. Simple. He's seeing Satan, I believe, as he always is, with seething hatred, you know, boiling blood of the utmost fury, quietly observing Job and seeing how spectacularly blessed his life is. And he has such a you know, it's almost it has to be said, it's almost one of his favorite things to do is to take some of the best situations, you know, anywhere in human existence, like individual or individuals, but just like, this person or like these people. Wow, you guys are just having such a great time, in life, and at the same time following God. Let me see about that. It's it's very unfortunate, but it's how, it is, because it's war. It is war right now. Spiritual warfare. Demons, as they say, they are a legion united. Okay, they however many demons there are, I believe there's a good amount of them, and that all with one objective: to make you and I miserable. So Satan pulls up on this Job party, and is like, he's only praising you. He only loves you. And he falls to his knees and he bows and he gives his thanks. And he glorifies your name everywhere he goes, to everyone that he talks to. It's only because you're blessing him. That's quite the challenge. Saying, telling God, okay, he's straight up, right, in Dad's face, saying, your boy right here, what a fine son of the light. And if you stripped him of all of that light, Satan pretty much said, I assure you, he would no longer be your son. And crazy thing is it's got to be said in this story, Father is omnipotent. And what I mean by that is all powerful. So there's nothing he can't do. I mean, for anyone to make this point, what the heck? Like, the devil is nothing to God. True facts. So it's like, what, why entertain saying in this way? There is absolutely no need. Your Job is dope. He's doing, what I'm saying? Living a great life, glorifying Father. Leave him alone, right? It's like, oh, isn't this wager or this challenge is a bit unnecessary? No. I mean, I acknowledge that this viewpoint is very valid. When I heard about this and I rested on it, I really do believe that Father he's not really in the business of doing anything for just to do it. There's always a reason. It's incredible to try and trace the Lord's intentionality behind his actions. It's not actually possible, but okay. I'm just saying, bro. It's kind of fun though. It's like, I really, is this why? Dad, is this why you okay? I told you tonight is very personal interpretation. So if I am led to believe, okay, that oh, since there's nothing outside of Dad saw this coming. Actually, Dad was like, and he's gonna show up right now, and then saying, you know what I'm saying, walk through and presented the challenge, which God already knew all about. That that puts Father in a very unique position. So there's just no surprising God. Uh, that's for me. That's actually, I believe, that's one of the funniest aspects that I really do believe about God. You just can't. You can try. It's just not possible. You're not going to be able to surprise God. Which means, if that's true, and he saw this coming a mile away, because dad sees everything coming from a mile away, then Father has all the time to contemplate the best way to go about this situation. It's because he can. Anything's possible for dad. So if you and I are, okay, just for the attempt, it's not possible. But if we were to attempt to, right, think with our mortal, rational, intelligent minds, what's the play? What's the play here? Because dad absolutely could have been like, no, no, you stupid snake. Get the heck out of here. Man, go back and down, go back down into, you know what I mean? Oh, absolutely. But but father has a way of using situations to to this is how I'd like to hit it home, to enact the maximum amount of good possible from this decision. And the decision was, I accept. Goodness gracious. You know, that would have been interesting. That would have been interesting if this is not what happened. This is not a part of the book of Job, but I just like to think, wow, if Job knew, you know, if Job was given warning, some kind of warning, like, hey, all right, look, you're gonna want to sit down for this. So when you wake up tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God. How would he have reacted? The thing is, though, according to the rest of this story, Job's a gangster. Job, oh, you want to talk? You want to talk about ride or die? You want to talk about undying fealty? Okay, like true sonship, true loyalty. Oh, good lord, bro. Oh my god, man. I would have. I would have just thrown some crazy tantrums. I like, oh yeah, no, I think I would have been down bad. I would have been down horrendous, to be honest. If this ever happened to me, after having everything, after achieving everything that I want to do, remember, like, you, Job started from the top. Job started from, I made it. You know, like Job was in his promised land. You and me, right, trying to get to the promised land. I have a very clear vision of my perfect life. You might as well try living it. Try living it for as long as Job did, and to have that all taken from him, dude. Oh my God. I see. You know, I don't want. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not trying to get blasphemous. But at the very same time, I believe it's not possible to lie to dad. So I think I actually would be. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty darn sure I would just, be cursing God, be turning my back on God, be like, man, it's a scam. Christianity, all this Christianity, it's all a scam. Okay, be a son of the light. Oh my God, like I'm ridiculous like that. So I hope that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have our own individual story. I do believe that as well. When you're walking your narrow path with Father, oh good Lord, I hope it's not like that. I hope it's not like that. I don't know, man. But, you know what I'm saying? That's not what you get to choose. You only get to choose what you do. This is what Job did. Job was like, how do the how do the Zoomers say it? Job said bet. Job was like, okay. He loses wifey. All of his children pass. Everything burns down. He loses his kingdom. Everything. His health is taken from him. He gets coach taught me this a long time ago. Was it leprosy? I'm not sure. I think specifically it was boils. So boils, I believe, are just when your skin begins to get these massive swollen lumps filled with a liquid. I believe that liquid is called pus. If not boils, then some sort of leprosy, which is pretty much just. I believe leprosy is just this. It is decomposure. I think decomposure or decay of the skin. It's a deterioration. So skin peeling. You know what I mean? Down to the flesh. You know, zombie style. That's what happens to Job. That's what happens to him physically. He loses everything. Okay, everyone he knows and loves. Okay, kids, all that. Okay. Oh, excuse me. No, I believe the wife is still there because she has words for him, and his body, his health leaves him as well. He's not at one point, so he's just lying there in the ashes, and he's covered in the boils or leprosy, whatever, and he can't really do anything, can't move, like, you know what I'm saying? He's to be alive is pure agony. You want to talk about a complete 180 from the blessed life he was living before Satan issued this challenge. And his wife tells him, just curse God. Are you like, what did we do? This is insane. I mean, it is though. Hey, this is me. This is just me. You know, I mean, Dad's right there. But that is insane. That is so hardcore. I can't imagine. Not even close. This is crazy. And he's got friends. He's got like homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Like close buddies of it who came to visit him after hearing, oh my God, well, what happened at the Job Kingdom? And they visit him and they say, you messed up. This has to be. There's something you're not telling. There's something you're not saying. There's something you're hiding. There's no way this is not just. This is God that we're talking about here. Surely, somehow, some way, you're at fault. But he wasn't. Truly innocent too. See, this really hits deep for me because when you're talking about suffering, when you're talking about tragedy, you're talking about, pain, experiences in life, of, why was I born like this? Why did that happen to me when I was young? Why am I going through this? Why is my business not working? Why is it so hard every day? Where is she? Why am I so alone? Why am I so poor? Why am I like all these difficulties of life? Suffering, brother. I believe that because Father knows everything and there is nothing outside of him, that he already knew, even in a situation like that, of complete and total annihilation, save Joe's dying breath. That's all he got to keep. He got to stay alive and hold on for a little bit longer so he could experience more of that torment, more of that hell for another moment. That's what he was given. Everything else was taken. It's very difficult to come up with a worse situation. I'm sure you can think of a lot of really, really, really terrible ones. I definitely can too. So I'm not trying to say Job takes the cake, but wow, that's really rough, extremely so. And as the story goes, Job's faith in Dad never wavered. He never switched up. He didn't blame Dad, and he didn't curse Dad. He cursed for sure, but he never outright, attacked the only one who could have done that to him. It seems that what Father created was a situation to iterate for all of time for any man, woman, and child who would hear of a story of like this. I believe his Father's intention is for you and I to understand Father is not one to be forsaken, because it doesn't matter. There needs to be some humility there. You and I are too mortal, too human, too flawed to ever dare and try to come up with a valid reason as to hate the Lord. And that's what really did it for me. That's what hit it for me, bro. Oh, there it is right there. Who would have a greater reason than Job to hate Father? And Job did not. Job said, the Lord gives, and he takes away. It does. It does. It gets real. It does get real, because he's brought to the very brink, okay, of total decimation and of his reality and his sanity. All of it. Nothing was spared. And Dad's answer, it's heavy. It's heavy. It's very, to me, it's very conversation ending. It's you know what I'm saying? It's a mic drop. Yeah, pops hit Job with that mic drop. What else can you say after this? Because what Dad said was, where were you when I made it all? It's like, dang, because we're dust. It's like, I actually love that. It's a very it's great imagery for the human mind to think, God, and then human beings, but we're not even like that. You can't even do it with your fingers. Dust, dude. Oh, I guess I just did. Dust is what you and I are to, Father. And that's it's, you want to talk about humbling? It doesn't get much. I don't know, man. I don't think it gets much more humbling than that. And Job is like, there's nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? What could you say? It's like, dang, dude, I was not there, because none of this, because we were not to be yet. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And then God, at the maybe he, because they say that the Lord would never give you and I something that would truly overtake us. truly be our undoing. Father's quite Father's quite flawless though, so it gets very close. It gets way too close for comfort. But you know what I'm saying? That that does what he does. You know what I'm saying? He definitely does not need our permission. So it seems that it got very very close for Job, and right before he probably most likely he tips over that brink. He's not just restored. This is the crazy part. He's not just given back his health, right? He's right, like he's healed, boils, leprosy, gone back to, healthy Job, okay? And he has another family, and his children return, his kingdom is given back, the prosperity, the wealth, the all of it. It's doubled. Dad said, everything that I took from you to show Satan, I needed Satan to see exactly how wrong he was. Not just wrong, but how wrong. And Dad, he gives it all back to Job. And he doubles it. He's like, son, I got you. And he doubles it, bro. You think, brother, your dream life, success, you did it. You did it, bro. The jackpot. You hit it. You won the game of life. You are successful. And God doubles up on you. It's not that it's not that I want tonight's episode to end on this note that, hey, just keep your head down. All right. Keep it going, bruh. Dig in, keep suffering, and God will give you 2 jackpots. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that you and I will always have that choice of exactly how to deal with our suffering in life. How are you going to go about it? For me, so this is how I see it. For me, you can go the way that the devil would have you go. You don't try. You forfeit it. You forfeit your Job, and instead of holding true to your faith in Father, you turn your back. You curse God, and you just, both, 2 of them, middle fingers up. Oh, you know what? I'm done. No, okay. I'm good. I'm good with all this Christ stuff. This is crazy. Look what the frick happened in my life. And you can get very bitter. And that turns a lot of men into, human beings that would just live for escaping the pain, which is a very, very, very unique hell that I believe is the trick, that I believe is the illusion that I warn you of tonight, brother. Do not go this way, because it gets much worse this way. You imagine if Job had done that. If Joe had been like, this is just for the story, Dad. If Job had been like, F you, Father, okay? This is, man, like flips the table. This is crazy. I'm out. He would have, nothing would have been returned to him. He would have lost it all, and he most likely would have died miserably with the boils and everything. Like, we can do that if we want. Free will is a tough one in this way. So, all the corn and all of the hedonism and all of the depravity and all of the apathy and all the nihilism, you can, brother, if you really want to, you can go that way. But what if you don't? What if you do not go this way? What if instead you go the way that Father demonstrated with Job? And what a tough demonstration. Job is a legend in this way, to have he aced it. He aced the test to show you and me, perhaps the finest decision you can make when you are suffering in life is to do the very best you can with it. The very best that you can with it. Where would that take you? What would that give you? Brother, I can't answer that question for you. I'm only a man that believes Father can. God can. And if you want your answer, if you would like to find out, you must, brother, please walk with God. And you just you take whatever is making you suffer right now and you do your very best with it. Okay? Bro, keep lifting. Just keep lifting. Keep trying. If you're making something right now, just keep making it, man. If it's a struggle, you must continue to endure. That's what it's all about. I think sometimes we get so caught up in how difficult it is to keep going, so to speak. We forget that is the only way you get something out of it. And as human beings who are trying so hard to control exactly how your life is happening, well, when and how and in what way and how much, like we really want these specifics in life. I'm right there with you, bro. But I don't know. Maybe if you and I, if we could just, for without faith, the Lord cannot be pleased. If you could just give that to Dad, you just give it to God, and you just do it with Him in this way, whatever you think is awesome, you imagine doing it with Father, and I mean, it may very well be doubled up. Or better. I mean, better than that. Twice the jackpot. I believe those are workings that only the Lord Himself could reveal. Brother, I would simply have you find out before it's all said and done. Just remember, brother, there is only one way, though. Okay, and that is to keep going. You cannot give up. You must persevere in this way. Find your resilience in the way that Job did. Whatever Job had to freaking summon to hold on. You really think about it, in that moment, all he really did was just, probably with a vice grip, he had to hold on to his faith and his love for Father, because he had nothing else. What a brilliant way. This must be said. What a brilliant way for God to show man needs nothing else but his faith and love for the Lord. Give God that chance. Give God that chance, bro. And you ever need some help, or you're really just looking for another fellow doing the same, you feel free to vibe with me right here, brother, at the Pillars of Man podcast. That's what I do. I yap about God, movies, and anime to help you with your life. And if you like content like that, you hit the subscribe button for me. You're listening on Spotify, you follow me on there. Wherever you find this, brother, you shoot me a follow. So I'd love to catch you for the next one. But until then, take it easy. Take good care of yourself. And I love you so much. Peace.